Way back in the 17th century, nobles and rich merchants brought their fine horse-drawn carriages to the parks of Paris for informal gatherings. The pastime became known as the Concours d'Elegance, a gathering of elegance. Since then, the Concours has morphed into competitive motorsport events held around the world. In Kenya, the Concours d'Elegance tradition has been maintained by the Alfa Romeo Owners Club for the past 48 years. Hello and welcome to the 2017 CBA Africa Concours d'Elegance, the 47th annual event organized by the Alfa Romeo Owners Club and the 6th to be sponsored by CBA.
I just walked in, there's so many people, so much to see, so much to eat. Yeah, it's good vibe, good vibe. Yeah, I basically have always wanted to come to Concours d'Elegance. Finally, I saw the tickets were up and at the right time, the right price. So I was like, bring on Concours d'Elegance.
It has a flashy. The cocktail is good. Or
better. Set in a backdrop of history and prestige, this is where beauty meets the beast.
Such a nice family outing. Just seeing all the people coming out here and it's still daylight and guys having fun. I think one of the most amazing events in the Kenyan calendar.
Join us as we feast our eyes on the best vintage and classic cars the region has to offer, before crowning the greatest of them all. For all the groundwork done in preparation for the big day, there is still a lot to be done before being crowned the overall winner. All bikes and cars have to be at their very best to compete for the judges' points. And so the judging categories for cars this year will be underside, exterior, interior, engine, safety. Overseeing the judging process will be the two chief judges, Chris Eden, who will be in charge of the cars, and Robert Gao, who will be heading the bike judging.
Expectations are very high as usual. We have good experience out there. Competitors know what they have to do, they know what we're looking for, and the level of entries are very good. So we have to try and be as fair as possible so we accommodate everybody.
The machines have been prepared even better this year than in the past. We're now having to judge much more critically than we have had to in past years. We're not looking for originality. We're looking for cleanliness, well-prepared machines that have been loved. My expectations are that my judges all judge their particular parts of the vehicles fairly, which I'm sure they do.
If you're to prepare for Concours, it cannot be an event, it's a process. The good thing about it, the judges tell you where you're supposed to improve. So you go and start with those parts that they have talked about.
The Starehe Boys Band kicks off the event with the now customary opening parade. And right behind them is the opening car, an Alfa 159, carrying the CBA Group Head of Marketing, Chris Pasha.
So this is the 6th year that CBA has come back as the title sponsor, the 6th consecutive year. It's a very good platform for us to showcase our brand. It's been growing over the years and that's why we keep coming back.
CBA has been a great partner. You know, when you have a title sponsor who is willing to work with you closely and is willing to understand the nature of the event, you end up with this growth that we have seen. We have had phenomenal growth over the last 6 years.
Every year we try to come up with an event theme And this year, the event theme was Beauty and the Beasts. The beauty represents all the high fashion and glamour and elegance that this event brings. And the beasts are personified by the machines from yesteryear that we all come to admire and marvel at.
First up on the judging line is a famous radio presenter making his debut at the Concours.
My name is Larry Asego, and what I am bringing to Concours this year is my 1974 Volkswagen camper van. I got it in a garage at Adams Arcade. Ever since, done quite a bit of restoration on it. There was so much rust on the car, which had to be looked at. I had to source for another engine that would actually fit in the camper. The tent that, pops on the pop roof, the tent was pretty much damaged, so I had to get that changed as well. At the end, when I finally landed it home, I'm asking myself, do I really want to take on this challenge after seeing all the problems that it had? But hey, I had it and we decided, let's go for it. I've always been seeing that the generation of people who are entering the cars are the, older generation, people in their sunset years, and people who are assumed to have very deep pockets. I want to debunk that myth. In a part, yes. But if you just know the right people to talk to, and if you plan your budget well, you can actually be able to restore a car without necessarily suffering so much financially. As a first-time entrant, I pretty much don't have any experience. Let's just get there first, let people come and see, and then from there, we'll be able to judge. Maybe next year, I can start gunning for, things like number 3 or top 5 or whatever it is. But for this year, let me just go participate and experience.
And as it happens, Larry drives the first car of the day. Dressed up to boot, he gets the judging underway.
Apparently my car is the first one on the ramp, so that's why I have the sticker number 1. I can't believe it, the irony of this. I missed out last year, and then this year, this is the first car on the ramp. Of course, being on the podium would be great, but as it is, this is already something I can put for posterity. I'm going to keep this sticker forever.
And so the first vehicle we have is Larry Asego's. His vehicle, Scooby. Just come off the ramp is Adam Bowen's 1968 Toyota Land Cruiser. The horse arena around the corner. Please go and have a look.
Gearbox has been changed for a 4-speed from a 3-speed. This drivetrain all came out of an HJ47 pickup, diesel pickup. Yeah.
So then, a brave showing by Larry as he takes second spot. But it's Tumaini Muthiga who takes the class with his 1965 Chevrolet.
So far, so good. It's been great. I've been here for the past, 4 years or 5 years. I mainly like the bikes because I'm a bike guy. So there's a black Ducati. That Ducati was on point. It was really on point.
Let's head on down to the bikes, where the 350cc street motorcycle class features a host of international competitors, including South Africa's Steve Backwell, who is sponsored by the Galleria Mall. It's Sati Jabal who beats all the international competition to take first place with his 1925 DKW. Back with the cars, the Ugandan flag has already started waving as another debutant tries his luck with not one, but two Mercedes-Benz.
It's actually my first time to be a part of this competition. So I submitted two cars. One is 1972, and I also submitted a Mercedes 1965. It's pretty fast, goes up to 120, 130 miles per hour. It was built for speed. It's in very mint condition. All these are original parts, original spotlights. It's been restored internally to very, very good condition. And it's just a lovely car.
I think after the lovely Corona is Ronald Walusimbi's W114. Is that what that is? Right?
Patrick's not the only Ugandan with a Benz. He has to pit his wits against class favourite, Ronald Walusimbi.
So the judging, I think, was quite fair. They do a very good job. You drive the car up on a ramp, they look underneath the hood, take quite a bit of meticulous look through the car's interior. Interestingly, this car did better than the older car, the 1965, which I thought was in a much better condition. But there were a couple of things they didn't like about this car that made this one score a little bit better. I think in general, they'll all be in the top 5 in their category, which is a good outcome.
In the end, it's Ronald who wins the Battle of the Ugandans with his 1974 Mercedes W114. Of course, it's not all bikes and cars at the Concours. There's always a few added attractions for all tastes and styles. Like the Heritage Collection with the iconic steam engine as its centerpiece. You could get yourself a good deal as a buyer or seller at the classic car sale. Or even consider some of the new cars and brand products on display at the Auto Expo. There's something in it for everybody. Up next is one of the standout classes of the year, as some familiar faces go head-to-head in the touring cars up to 1600cc.
So this year again we are back in the Concours d'Elegance. I'm having a competition against my father. So it is the Alpha versus the Datsun. As now you can see Dad is working on his Datsun. I want to beat him with my Alpha. Let's see where this takes me.
The competition is tough between the sons and the mother and the father, so we think we will win.
No, we will win, Mom. This is my chance.
But it's not all about one family in this class. Leslie Carvel makes yet another appearance with a beloved Beetle, while runaway favorite Sati Gata Aura dusts his ex-Safari rally car from the shelves.
I am Sati Gataura, and my car is a Nissan 160J. I did the 1978 Safari Rally in it. It did very well. In 1985, I decided to strip it or rebuild it, and came out so good. I couldn't resist entering in the Concours.
My name's Leslie. I come from Jinja, Uganda. This is my car, my 1970 Beetle Percy. Percy and I first got together about 18 years ago in England. And when I decided to move to Uganda, I put him on a boat, shipped him out, and we've been together ever since.
Competition is tough, but we're hoping for the best.
I don't think there's much competition. Now I feel the car is at its best.
Will we win? Probably not. Do we care? No. Are we going to have fun? Yes.
But this time also we have very short time. So you know, from now to next year you've got 360 days. True.
And it's Sati who continues his dominance at the Concours by winning the class with his Nissan 160J. Next up, the open sports cars over 1600cc offer up some eye candy.